ASL Prime League.
Welcome to the ASL Prime League Season 5. And here, spawning in the top left corner to kick things off, he is the Blue Protoss player. From Canada, give it up for...
Evil Geniuses, HuK.
And in the bottom right-hand corner, our Red Terran player.
Apocalypse.
Oh yeah.
Dropping that supply depot pretty much right in his mineral line, which, of course, you know, if you're not going against Zerg, then lots of players like to do this.
Yeah, just this least travel distance, you know, that, not drone, but the SCV wants to go back to mining as quick as possible without wasting any time. Of course, you can just lower it and don't have to worry about it blocking you. But, I mean, if you're playing against a player like Arthur, sometimes you do want to wall off because, you know, you'll see that very early gateway pressure, the Mothership Core, and like a Stalker and a Zealot. So, HuK not going for that at all as he does drop down the gateway inside of his main. And neither of them actually are up to scout just yet, so I assume we would see it out of APOC when the Reaper. And HuK just like, yep, do my own thing.
He's actually going to SCV scout as well. I mean, he did go 12 racks, 12 gas, which is usually indicative, especially on a map like Coda where you do have that Reaper ledge, of just a single Reaper versus Protoss. I know HuK in particular has had some annoyances with, some well-voiced annoyances with Reapers. So if APOC is tuned into that, or, you know, maybe APOC is just good with Reapers, there's some potential to do some damage. But, of course, against a guy like HuK, you don't expect there to be any damage done. We'll have to see what this SCV decides to do. Of course, always a possibility for an engineering bay block if APOC wants to go that route.
Oh, yeah. He could do it, I wonder. HuK still making that Zealot and making sure that there is no block. Whoa, I don't think he's going to go for it, or at least we'll have the capability. As HuK does bring down another probe. Yeah. So really nicely done here, making sure. And it's like that moment. Is he going to finally like be able to just get it? You know?
Yeah, there we go.
No. And of course the Zealot was cancelled preemptively. So HuK was like, you are not getting this down at all.
Oh, that would have been the best if he just, after the cancel, after the Zealot cancel, he just drops down the engineering bay.
I know, right?
So annoying. Mothership Core is out. Ooh, picks up a probe kill. Not too bad as, oh.
Wow, the Reaper will get away.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't stop. Don't stop. Keep running.
Yeah, I love that. Right. Sometimes, especially in TVZ, the Terran player will leave their Reaper outside. Forget about it, do their macro thing at home, and you just send like 4 slowlings and kill it.
Oh, that's so embarrassing. Fortunately, APOC, he's a little bit better than that, at least for now. HuK, going with that Twilight Council. Now, with a guy like HuK, early aggression is something you always, always, always have to keep on your mind. He's one of those players who, in the past, has had some pretty awesome micro battles, where it's very low unit counts versus very low unit counts of his opponents, and it's all down to just that extreme control and very precise decision-making. Perhaps we'll end up seeing that. Of course, Blink is always an option with a guy like HuK.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he really loves that Stalker, and once it does have that Blink upgrade, it's pretty much HuK in his final form, being able to use that control to his advantage. But Mothership Core going to be able to come in here and get some scouting. Looking like he just wants to check it out, you know. Does he see the starport? I believe he does not. Ooh. So, looking like it could be, yeah.
Most builds don't go. Well, let's actually check. I didn't check if he actually saw the factory. I just sort of assumed he actually didn't see anything.
He didn't see anything at all. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a pretty reasonable chance that it's a 2-base 1-1-1. That it's some variant of that. So HuK, if he doesn't see anything out of the ordinary, he can certainly kind of assume that it's a single Reaper opener, which oftentimes does transition into that 1-1-1. If you're going for like triple racks or like fast CC, then typically that Reaper is something you can see. So a couple of Hellions going to be moving in. 6 probe kills, certainly respectable at this point. 2 Hellions do get picked off, but the Reaper is back in the main base. He's just going to be shooting away at those probes, might get himself an extra kill.
Yeah, I really love the execution out of Apocalypse right here. I mean, using that Reaper to scout and also get a few more kills does go down, but I mean, not before actually scouting almost everything that he wanted to see. He didn't see the Robo, but that's a lot of work to be done with just 2 Hellions and a Reaper. Because there comes the main issue that most Protoss struggle to deal with, but are getting much better at it nowadays, as a Widowmine drop does head on to the main. Because how much damage can it get done?
That's always the question. There's the Widowmine. There's no reaction from HuK.
Oh my god!
This! Whoa! Only 2. Not bad at all. There is, of course, a second Widowmine. The Observer is out, so if the Photon Overcharge is popped, he will be able to deal with that quite nicely. There's a couple of sentries here as well. Will HuK respond? So far, the answer is no. A little bit late. Fast enough, though. And just loses one more probe.
And that is beautiful. You know, losing 3 probes to a double Widowmine drop is, that's good. I mean, in HuK land, he's definitely feeling that. It could have been a lot worse. Especially because he did not react to the one inside of the main. That could have been devastating. So, RNGesus does smile upon our Canadian superhero.
Drops his first Forge, and his income tab isn't looking too shabby either in comparison to a Terran who's got a couple of mules. He's not that far behind, all things considered. So, very reasonable defense from HuK. We don't want to oversell it, certainly, since he did lose 8 probes earlier on in the game, and he's certainly down further than he would like to be.
Yeah. There's more so like, not going to be insult to injury with that Widowmine kind of finishing it off. The Hellion and the Reaper really put in a lot of work, so they are going to be equal on workers, which is never a good thing for the Protoss. But what is HuK doing? He's dropping 3 more gateways, and he's also getting the Robotics Bay. So he's transitioning immediately into Colossi, and he already has his Blink upgrade done. So I don't think this is too out of the ordinary.
Certainly not from both players. Maybe the thing that's like almost out of the ordinary, I don't even know if you would call it out of the ordinary. Maybe some people do, but like racks 4 and 5 from our Terran player before the 3rd CC, which again is
true.
It's not that crazy. It's not like he dropped it before the 2nd CC. So, yeah, I mean, Stim Bio is of course great against Protoss. It's one of those compositions that you basically always need. And Stim, Combat Shields +1, all going to be finishing up relatively soon. The production is going to be kicking online with the 2 additional racks, and of course, he's been double pumping medevacs for a little while. So this is APOC, of course, looking to move out and do kind of that mid-game damage.
Yeah. And luckily for HuK, I don't even believe any Photon Overcharge was forced out, so he will have 2. If APOC decides to go ahead and use drops in order to do damage in 2 places, then it's going to work out a lot better for him as these Colossi start to come out. Whoa, 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 Mr. Colossi getting a little bit too ahead of itself, but it is going to survive. That was really close.
Widowmine's burrowed, but they're way behind their lines. Optimally, they would like to be a lot closer. Didn't quite get the opportunity with Force Field being reasonably placed from HuK quite nicely. HuK, will he pay attention? There's 1 blink. The 2nd blink is good as well. Doesn't really lose anything to the Widowmine, so nice recovery from HuK. Didn't lose the Colossi. I mean, it did lose some shields, but no hull damage.
Yeah, not at all. And the 2 Widowmines are going to go down too, so... There we go.
Nice.
He definitely deflects the first attack really well. Even though APOC is getting his 3rd base up, it didn't do crazy amounts of damage. I thought that Colossus was going to die without doing any damage at all, because then it would have only been sentries and like a few stalkers.
Which, traditionally pretty bad against Stim Bio. HuK's Observer on the left side.
He's going to miss this drop.
Oh, will it? It will just... Oh, it saw it for hardly a second, and I don't imagine that many humans would have actually seen that. It was just so slight.
I mean, yeah, you would have to really like be eagle-eyeing that minimap. Just, but if he did, that would be great. I don't know.
Mothership? No, never mind. I saw the Mothership Core moving over, but it's on patrol, so I guess I'm quite silly.
Yeah, well, it is going to drop, and that's 2 of them here, Cybert. Double drop. You can't just use a few units for this, but a Photon Overcharge will get activated. There's still a Widowmine there. Not getting a lot of kills, though.
trades himself out. 5 probes for that little attack, but it's not going to stop. He's going to start targeting down that cyber core. Don't know that he's actually going to be able to get it. Although his mothership core is the only thing standing there because of the attack over at the 3rd base, which is trying to snipe down that Nexus. Unfortunately, with this many Stalkers for Apocalypse, he won't be able to break on through that attack. Couple of medevacs, couple of Vikings going down back in the main base. Cyber core actually did go down. The mothership core as well, going to be another kind of casualty of this engagement. A very nice move by Apocalypse, attacking over at the 3rd base and deciding to drop this secondary kind of load of units into the main. And goodbye, medevac.
Yeah, very close there. There was also a warp prism on the other side, inside of the main of APOC, but I don't think HuK had a chance to really warp anything into it. So, unfortunately for him, he didn't get any counter damage done, which would have been pretty devastating to Apocalypse, because he just used all of these units here. He moved them in order to do this. So, no counter damage at all. So, HuK just taking a lot of damage there and not really getting much out of it in return. Yeah,
he started to move out with his pretty much his full army force, and then he was like, nah, maybe I'll just kind of wait. He did maintain his 3rd base. It didn't get sniped or anything like that, and we always have that opportunity for the Warp Prism to move back in and do that damage. Zealot run-bys, if you're not paying attention, can of course be very devastating. In the main base, there is going to be 4 Zealots dropped on top of this SCV line. HuK has taken so much economic damage. This is his opportunity to deal some, but over at the 3rd base, this is the clash of the armies. I think this Terran army needs to be extremely careful how they engage here with this 3 Colossi and no Viking support. It's going to be very difficult. This is not prior to Thermal Lance like some of the earlier engagements. This Marauder force is all that's left.
I think the thing to note is that the cyber core has just now been made, so it will only be Zealots coming down. However, I think charge has been finished, so that's not actually bad. The only thing that I do worry about, of course, would be the upgrades for HuK. He does have his +2 armor, which is really nice, and APOC is getting his 2-2. He's almost done with it. I feel like he's going to be able to attack when HuK is only on 1-2. But that may not be the worst, you know, especially just because of at least the armor being done for HuK. I thought it was actually 1-1. Going to be finishing soon, so.
Fortunately for HuK, he does have that +2 armor, as you were mentioning. We do have another medevac drop moving out to the right side. These two guys not really given too much breathing room to the other player, APOC.
Oh, not at all.
Back once by HuK, and then he's like, all right, let's go. Round 2, round 3, tango time. And of course, APOC playing this out so well, hitting really after some crucial upgrades that we saw earlier. He moved out with +1 attack, stem, and combat shields all finishing. Now it's the +2 attack for his infantry. And of course, this drop.
Yes, it's all about the drop and the positioning here. Pulling HuK out of positioning and trying to kind of kill. I don't know. I don't know if there's enough units here. There's only 4 Colossi, but there's only, I think, 4 Vikings as well. So there's not that many Vikings in the sky. It's just all about if these Colossi do get surrounded, and it doesn't look like it is going to be the case for now. But that natural is going to go down. There's really not a lot to protect them. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the ASL Prime League Season 5. You are viewing Group E, and this player is up 1. He could do it right here, right now. It is the Red Terran.
Apocalypse.
And in the top left-hand corner, representing
Evil geniuses, HuK.
I do that all the time.
I'm not used to the,
I know,
the prepared intros.
And then I catch myself and I'm like, wait, how do I do it? Whatever, I don't care. Yep,
I was thinking
think
about it before.
Me and Fear Dragon did it. Yeah, I did it so many times, man. But it is what it is. It's kind of hard, right? Like, geez, soon robots are just gonna take over the world, and we're just gonna be out of casting jobs. It's gonna suck.
They'll always have perfect analysis of the game. Like,
I know. They'll always be able. They'll never make any mistake. They'll catch everything on the map.
Yeah.
Observe every mistake.
It'll be super boring, I hope. And that's how we'll get our jobs back.
Yeah. They'll just be booping, beep 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 and booping.
Mm-hmm.
So
darn robots stealing our American jobs.
Stealing our gerbs. So,
I mean, we could have just like replayed our commentary from the last game, because the first, 3 minutes, not necessarily going to be a huge variation. 12 racks, 12 gas, Reaper, and then 13 Gateway, Cyber Core on 17, most likely, 21 Nexus. Not exactly wildness from these two players.
nah, there was no proxies, anything like that, and yeah, I guess pretty much. I wonder how the mid game is gonna go though, because I don't feel like HuK really took a crazy amount of damage. Like, it was just the kind of damage you expect to take against a Protoss, unless you are Rain or like Classic or something. Because like you've seen some Protosses at the really, really top level that won't take any damage at all. You know, it's like this crazy preparation and just control to not really take that little like damage. I mean, how much was it? It wasn't a super crazy amount, but
8 probes in the first, I don't know, like 6 minutes or so. So
yeah, I guess it can be pretty. Yeah, I think the Reaper did a lot of like that too. You know, gonna lose another one of those probes perhaps here.
Reaper, once again, with just hardly any HP, manages to escape away from that mothership core, and he's going to take a look around in the natural expansion and heal himself up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We talked a little bit last game about the follow-up after that command center, and I assumed it was going to be another 1-1-1. The engineering bay coming down maybe a little bit earlier than we would have expected, and then he's like, nah, homie, gonna drop Rax number 2.
Yep.
May very well just follow it up almost immediately with a Rax number 3.
That's what I was thinking, right? He is getting a second gas with this, so I'm wondering what it is that he wants to use that. Use with that. Or use it for, rather. I wonder. Mothership Core gonna be able to get here to the natural, but 4 Marines is more than enough. Or just enough, at least.
Pushing it away. Saying, get out of here, Mothership Core.
I'm wondering right now, does he drop that 3rd Rax, or is he gonna, I'm wondering. It could be that factory too, but yeah, the upgrades and just maybe better Marauder production out of that.
Drops a missile turret as well. So he is definitely worried about some sort of shenanigans. And this is not like a missile turret at the front with a bunker, nothing like that. So it is going to be the factory. It's not going to be a 3 racks onto the 2 bases. Well, at least not just yet. 3rd racks we do expect at some point. That would be a little bit weird. But,
he worked on 2 racks for the whole game.
He's just like, I'm going a really weird mech build. Where you go
this Reaper, Apox Reapers, just going all over the map. Looking for proxies probably a little bit too, but nothing really to find. There are 2 Stalkers here in the natural of HuK, who is opening once again with the Blink. And we'll see if he decides to do it the same way that he did. Robotics facility coming out at the natural. So this is looking very similar to what he was doing before. And could just be that kind of conservative style. But with that pylon being warped in here, Cybert, around the 3rd base of APOC, maybe he'll just kind of do something different. Like an actual Blink attack with it, instead of only for defense.
I always enjoy watching someone who's really good at blinking use Blink Stalkers. It can be so much fun. I don't know if you saw that the micro AI video that got posted to SC Reddit. And that was just, I thought that was great just to watch. I mean, obviously it's like, okay, that's an AI. It's not like an actual player. But watching someone who's really good with stalkers just blink around like crazy is a lot of fun for me. So I certainly do hope we see that aggressive side of HuK and he starts punching out with some blink stalker attacks.
Yeah, that'd be really awesome to see. The fact that there are 2 pylons on the map makes me think that it will be the case. He's saving up Chrono Boost as well. Notice that he has, he didn't cut probes just yet. But he's banking a lot of Chrono Boost right now, and he's already done with Blink. So this does make me think, perhaps, but he drops the Forge, and he gets that Robo Bay again, so... I don't know here, Cybert. Maybe it's just a fake? I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out, of course, but on the other side of things, of course, APOC got his factory simply to get those medevacs out, not really going that the mine route this game. Just straight up bio.
He had it on his third racks. I believe it was before the starport, so certainly prioritizing the first 3 racks, more so than you would see in a normal game. Stalker's going to be stepping forward, snipe the SCV very nicely, going to start targeting down that command center as well, going to be able to blink away. Unfortunately, not able to cancel it. HuK really would have wanted to get that cancel. And with this third CC not quite even on the way, we do have racks 4 and 5 being added on for Apocalypse. He certainly is gearing up for some aggression.
Yeah, and that Observer may have saved HuK as well when he was at the third, getting out of there, not getting too greedy to try to kill that command center. But APOC actually had split his units around to try to get like a kind of pincer on these units.
Very
nice.
This
is looking good for HuK in his eyes, but little does he know. Oh, he does know, as these units of APOC do come here.
Force fields on the ramp, going to be keeping them out. Now, this Mothership core does have 200 energy, so he certainly can drop those photon overcharges. A couple of medevacs loading up into the main base of HuK. There's photon overcharge number 1, and we do have Colossi here, but of course, without thermal lance, means they're vulnerable to those Marauders. Going to be pushing away the 1 drop, but over at the natural, that's where the second group of units is getting pushed away by the second photon overcharge.
Yep, and unfortunately for HuK, that Colossus was canceled when the robotics facility died. So, yeah, HuK is going to be working with only 1 Colossus right now, while APOC seems to be just gearing up to get his macro. But he did lose his third.
Okay. Well, no.
APOC did.
Yeah, it got canceled by those stalkers, and then HuK ran home with them, but HuK, unfortunately, as much as we love the guy, he's building a second Twilight Council.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he knows he has Blink, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he meant to the Robo.
Yes, definitely. I cannot imagine that he meant to build a second Twilight when he doesn't have a Robo. So certainly meaning to build the Robo facility, not quite able to press the correct key, unfortunately. He actually, I guess he didn't realize that he has a Twilight in the main, because now he's researching Zealot Charge.
At that one as well.
Yeah.
So, going into Charge, it looks like a huge drop is going to be coming out of APOC, perhaps, but I think HuK might have been able to get that, and APOC had to leave that Marauder behind. So HuK looking like he just wants to do a big attack here, and APOC may just go for the base raise, unless PUC realizes it.
Well, when you've got 4 medevacs loaded up with Marines and Marauders, you don't have a whole lot left at home. Now, HuK unfortunately doesn't have an observer on the far right-hand side, but there's the boost into the natural expansion, and HuK very soon is going to know exactly what is going on. Mothership Core is, of course, not with the army. It's here at the natural expansion, and this natural expansion is pretty much forfeit, but HuK turns around to run the defense.
Yep, he is going to lose a lot of probes here. And, so much is going down. Not really focusing on anything else, APOC is. He's just going for the probes to guarantee damage. He has a lot here, and he might lose his medevacs. But, yeah, PUC had to come all the way back in order to make this happen. And seems to be losing a lot in the main as well. This is just a little bit too much damage for HuK to deal with. And GG we called. Really, really nice spur-of-the-moment move by Apocalypse, who was down in supply, by the way, when HuK was moving out.
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to support the ASL by hitting the button now.